Can you send it to Mukund?
Send a copy, right?
Mukund send it. Double for Mangala Saranam.
Kanchan, yes. Send कर दिया. ये कह रही थी कि थोड़ा जल्दी करती तो लास्ट मोमेंट में अच्छी बात नहीं है ये.
I totally forgot about this.
Start your screen share. चलो
लोग देख रहे हैं 10 में चल रहा है.
ठीक है, तुम बस उसी में लगी रहो. टाइम पास हो रहा है यहाँ पर 6 मिनट से.
Me. How? Sorry. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, so we're going to get started with the Mangala Sharanam prayers. Everybody can sing with me. Om
Namaha.
Nama Om Vishnu
Namo Padaya.
Swami
Namine.
Namine
Namine.
Saraswati
Dodavani
Pracharine
Prasthana.
Nirvishesha Jaya Shri Krishna
Jaya
Chaitanya
Krishna Jaya Prabhu Nitya
Yadvaita
Jaya
Gadadara
Da Da Da
Sadi
Shri
Gaura
Madi Dora
Bhakta
Vakta Vrinda
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna Krishna Hare
Krishna Hare Hare
Rama Hare Rama
Hare
Rama
Rama
Rama Hare
Rama Hare Hare
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Okay, so now we're going to get started with Ramayan. And we're going to do a recap from what we learned last week. So last week we started. So we learned how Dashrath does not have any sons, and he is actually wanting to have some sons, and so he goes to this one stage, and he gets one bowl of nectar, and then he distributes that among his wives. And who are his wives? He has 3 wives. And does anybody want to say who his wives are?
Why should say Sumitra?
Yes.
How says Sumitra cake? Cake.
Yes.
Cake.
Kaushalya, Sumitra, and KK. So he has 3 wives, and they are Kaushalya, Sumitra, and KK. And now we learn that in 12 months, all the 3 mothers, all the 3 wives give birth to 4 beautiful children. So Kaushalya gives birth to Ram, Lord Sri Ram, and Sumitra gives birth to 2 twins. I mean, 1 pair of twins, two children. The oldest one is Lakshman, and this is the activity that we did last week, if you remember. This is the flow chart.
Join
You
that.
see Dashrath right there.
I didn't join that. I'm not sure of that activity.
Oh, okay. So we did that last week, and that will help you. So that is what we did. So, and then Sumitra gave birth to two children. The oldest one was Lakshman, and the younger one is Shatrugna. And Keikei gave birth to Bharat. Now we are going to continue, and we are going to read the story. The four boys grew up under the watchful eyes of sage Vashishta. The learned sage taught them the Vedas, the Vedanta, and told them stories about their rich and ancient heritage. The boys learned about the greatness of their ancestors and wanted to grow up and rule their kingdom just as wisely. So here we're learning that the four boys, the four princes, they are actually going to they're going to Gurukul, and they are learning from sage Vashishta. So their guru is Vashishta Muni. And what are they learning from him? They're learning the Vedas, they're learning the Vedantas. They are being told the stories about their own ancient. They're told about their own family, and what they get out of this is they learn about the greatness of their family. They learn about their ancestors, so they learn about their grandfather, their great grandfather, what they did. And after learning all this, they come down to a conclusion to grow up and rule the kingdom just like them, just like how they're ruling right now, and just like how they ruled before. In addition to their education, they were taught the science of warfare and were trained in all martial arts such as archery, sword fighting, riding chariots, and much more. Ram had a pet elephant named Shatrunjay, whom he was very fond of. Lakshman was trained by Vashishta in architecture. Bharat grew up very fond of Ram and always respected him. Shatrugna would always follow Bharat and did as told by Bharat. All four boys would serve their master and completed their education by the time they were teenagers. So now we are learning about what they are actually studying in the Gurukul of sage Vashishta. So what they're learning is the science of warfare. Obviously, because they're princes, they have to grow up and rule the kingdom. So in order to be able to do that, they have to learn how to fight. And in order to learn how, so there are many things. There are bow and arrow. There is a sword. There are many other things. Maces, yeah, like in Mahabharata also we know that Bhim uses a mace. So there are many other things. So they learn archery, they learn sword fighting. Riding chariots is also an art, because you have to make sure, because obviously you need practice of everything, so you have to make sure you're going in the right direction and you're able to control the horse. And they're learning many more things. So here it gives a little description about everybody. Lord Ram has a pet elephant named Shatrunjay, sorry. And okay. And he is very happy about it. He really likes that elephant. And Lakshman is being trained about architecture. And then Bharat really likes to follow what Lord Ram is doing, and he likes to respect him. He has great respect for him. And later on in the Ramayana, we will actually get to know about him. He has a very nice bond with Lord Ram, and he actually respects him very, very much. And then we come down to Shatrugna, and Shatrugna is a very great follower of Bharat, his elder brother Bharat, and he follows him just like Bharat follows Lord Ram. All the four boys are just learning what their master is telling them to do, just doing what their guru is telling them to do, learning everything to their best ability, and they learn it and they're done with all the studies and everything by the time they're teenagers. Were teenagers? They're 13, 14, 15, somewhere around that time. So they are done with all of their studies by then. Now we're going to move on. One day, this learned sage Vishwamitra visited the court of Dashrath. The king welcomed him and inquired how he could be served, how he could be how he could serve the wise sage. Vishwamitra informed him that along with many sages, he tried to perform an important sacrifice. When the ritual was nearing completion, two demons named Maricha and Subahu disrupted it by hurling meat, flesh, and blood on the altar. So what happened one day? One day, Vishwamitra, sage Vishwamitra, comes to the court, and normally everybody gives invitations or sends letters that, oh, I'm coming, something like that. But then he came without any information that he's going to come. So Dashrath Maharaj was actually inquisitive to know. He wanted to know what how he could serve him. So then he got to know that Vishwamitra and his disciples or many other sages accompanying him, like many other sages, were trying to perform a sacrifice. So they were trying to do a yagna, and yagnas was a very common thing to do back then, and all the Brahmins would do that. So they were trying to do a yagna, and then when it was almost done, when it was nearing completion, when it was almost done, like the final stages and almost done, two demons named Maricha and Subahu. So Maricha and Subahu came in, and they threw meat, flesh, and blood and all that kind of things on the altar. And obviously, these things are not very auspicious, right? They're not like good things. That's why we don't eat it, right? And they threw all this on the altar and like in the yagna. So now it became unpure, or it's not completed. It's like dirty now because all these bad things came in the middle. So now when they're almost done, with the yagna, and now all this happened. So the sages got really sad that they're not able to do it. They got angry on the demons also, but they aren't power. So that's why they came to Dashrath Maharaj for help. Vishwamitra requested Dashrath to send Sri Ram along with him to vanquish the demons. Sensing the disturbance in Dashrath's mind, Vishwamitra proclaimed that Sri Ram was truly valiant. Dashrath consented after sage Vashishta advised him to send Sri Ram. Lakshman accompanied Sri Ram along with the sage. So here we learn that Vishwamitra, sage Vishwamitra, the one who was doing the yagna, he actually requested Dashrath Maharaj to send Lord Ram because he wanted he wanted to get rid of the demons. He didn't want the demons to come again and again and disrupt or make any disturbances in the yagna. Obviously, I mean, you're trying to do yagna and then somebody just you're trying to do something. Say you're making a nice good drawing and then somebody comes in and spills water on it. Would you like it?
No.
No, you wouldn't like it. So that is what happening with this. That is what is happening with the sages. They're trying to do yagnas, and it takes a lot of effort to do it. They attain so many spiritual powers in order to be able to do this, and they get spiritual powers after doing it. So there's a lot that is going on behind behind the yagnas. So getting no benefit from it, and like disturbing it is actually very makes them angry, and they want this to be stopped. That's why they're asking Lord Sri Ram for him to come with him and vanquish the demons. So kill the demons, kill all of them, because obviously they don't want the demons to be there. And then Dashrath Maharaj didn't want Lord Ram to go away because he was just at Gurukul, and now he just came back, and now he has to go there again. So that's why he kind of didn't want to go, didn't want him to go. But then Vashishta, the one who is the four princes' actual guru, the one who taught them about fighting in the war and all that stuff in Gurukul, he advises to Dashrath Maharaj that no, there's no problem. Send Lord Sri Ram to kill the demons. And then we already know that Lakshman is very great follower of Lord Ram, which is why he also comes with Lord Ram. So now we'll continue. The two young princes, armed with bows and arrows, left with the sage. They traveled through forests and served the sage obediently. Vishwamitra taught them many prayers, particularly the Bala Atibala mantras, which made them free from hunger and thirst. Vishwamitra also took them to many places of historic and spiritual importance. He also told them stories about the history of the sacred places, heroes, and sages. So we are actually right now they are on their way to Vishwamitra's like his place where he does yagnas, his hermitage. They're actually on their way. They are in this forest, and what Lord Ram and Lakshman are doing, they are following what Vishwamitra is telling them to do. They're following what he's telling, and he actually teaches them some prayers so that they don't feel hungry or thirsty, because they're in forest, they won't get much food. Like they live in like these big mahals and all that stuff, big palaces, so they get nice food, royal food, and now they have to live in forests. They won't be getting nice food, right? All the rice, dal, or any paneer, all your favorite. Remember how you have favorites? They also have, they didn't get their favorites in the forest, right? All what you get in forest is just fruits and leaves. So what Vishwamitra, the sage Vishwamitra did is he taught them prayers so that they would be free from hunger and thirst. It's very hard to find water in forests too. You can find it only in ponds or lakes or something like that. So that's why it will make the process of them reaching to the hermitage easier. That's why he taught these prayers. He also took them to places that are really important spiritually. So say they he took them to like places that had spiritual importance. So basically like dham or something. May in our currently, maybe he took them to Vrindavan or something like that. Basically something like that. Something that has a spiritual importance. Say something where Varahadev appeared or something like that. So they went around places and told. So Vishwamitra said, "Oh, this happened here. This happened here," and historically, what happened? This war happened here, or this battle happened here, or maybe somebody had a meeting here, something like that. He also he told them stories about sacred places, heroes, and sages. So there are many other powerful sages and devotees of the Lord that he told them about. So there's a lot of learning here too. It's not only Vashishta who was teaching them, it's also Vishwamitra who is teaching them nice spiritual things. On their way to Vishwamitra's heritage, they walked through a dense and scary forest. A demoness named Tadaka attacked them. On the orders of Vishwamitra, Sri Ram killed her with one arrow. Just one arrow. So one day they were walking through this really dense and scary forest. Dense meaning the forest that has like many excuse me. It has many trees, so many that it becomes a little dark. If you go in a forest that has like many trees and they have many leaves, it becomes hard for the sun to come inside. So it becomes kind of dark and it becomes scary, kind of. Even in the daytime, it might be a little dark. So it was dense and it was scary. And then a demoness named Taraka, so Taraka came, and she actually attacked them. So then Vishwamitra, the sage Vishwamitra, ordered that Lord Sri Ram to kill her, and Lord Sri Ram did it, but he did it just in one arrow, just in one. Imagine that, such a big demoness. You can see in the picture, right? Excuse me. Such a big demoness, and he killed her just with one arrow. That's glories of Lord Sri Ram. They reached the hermitage safely. At dawn, Vishwamitra and the other sages began their worship. As Lord Sri Ram and Lakshman prepared themselves, Maricha, Subahu, and the other demons appeared. A fierce battle ensued, the two princes vanquished the demons. Subahu was killed, and Maricha was hurled away into the ocean. So what happened? They reached safely. Only this demoness Taraka came in. The Taraka came in, and then she was killed by one arrow. And then after that, they reached to the ashram very safely. They reached their hermitage. They reached the house of Vishwamitra very safely. And then after that, now that Vishwamitra got Lord Sri Ram and Lakshman to protect them, he started to do his yagnas again with all the other sages. So he started his yagnas, and as soon as he started, all the demons came again. Maricha and Subahu came. They came again. And then and obviously now Lord Sri Ram and Lakshman are here just to kill the demons. So that's what they did, and they killed the demons. Subahu was totally killed. He was probably liberated. Maricha was he ran away to the ocean. He just ran away. The sages completed the prayers and blessed the young princes. So now that Lord Sri Ram and Lakshman killed the demons, they were able to complete their sacrifice. They were able to complete their worship. They were able to complete their yagna. So their yagna was finally complete, and they actually blessed the young princes. So they gave blessings, and that is very nice that you get blessings from sages and elder people. That is one thing everybody should be doing. Next, Vishwamitra then took the princes to Mithila, and they passed through the hermitage of sage Gautam. So there are 3 sages now in the story. A stone in Sri Ram's path suddenly turned into a woman. Wow. When inquired, she said that her name was Ahalya, and she was the wife of sage Gautam, who once cursed her to become a stone. The curse was lifted by the touch of Sri Ram's feet. So what is happening? So they are traveling again. They're going somewhere else, or maybe they're going back to Ayodhya, where they were going there. Okay, so when they were actually going to Mithila, and then they actually came to the place where sage Gautam lives. So now we have 3 rishis in the story. So we have 3 sages. One is Vashishta, who was actually the primary guru who taught them warfare and everything since they were children. The second one is Vishwamitra, the one who wanted help to kill the demons, right? And then the third one, now the new one, is Gautam. So he's being introduced first time. And then when they came to his house, they saw that all of a sudden a big stone, just turned into a woman. Have you ever seen that? Have you ever seen that happen? You just go near a stone and then it just turns into a person. No. But who was it? It was a woman. And when the sage and Lord Sri Ram asked, who are you? And where are you from? she said she's Ahalya. And who is Ahalya? She is the wife of sage Gautam. And she was actually cursed by him. She was cursed by sage Gautam to turn into a stone. And then this curse, it was actually a curse, and this curse was ineffected, meaning the curse was broken when Lord Sri Ram's feet touched the stone. So imagine how much power Lord Sri Ram's feet has. So imagine how much power he has. He turned a stone. He turned a cursed woman who was in the form of a stone to become back into a woman. She was back to life and she could live again. So, and it was just because of his feet. Which one's next? Should I go next? Okay. We're going to continue. Janaka, the king of Mithila. So now they were in Mithila. They were in this village, or they were in this small place called Mithila. Now they're actually meeting the king of Mithila, Janak, greeted this learned sage and the princess. He informed them of his desire to get his daughter Sita married. He asked them to join all the kings assembled who desired Sita's hand. A condition was set forth where they had to string a bow presented by Lord Shiva. Anyone who accomplished this would win Sita's hand. Many tried but failed miserably. So what is going on right now? They actually sage Vishwamitra and Lord Shri Ram and Lakshman actually meet the king of Mithila, who is Janak Maharaj. So Janak Maharaj is actually wanting his daughter Sita, so Sita Devi, to get married. He wants her to get married. So, but then there is a condition. So in the olden ages, excuse me, in the olden age, in the olden days, uh, there used to be swayamvars. So swayamvar is a place where uh, a girl will be getting married to a boy, and she can pick, or there's going to be a condition. So this one was one in which there was a condition. What was the condition? It was the condition was that you have to string a bow. So what you have to do, as you can see over here, there's a bow, but then the string is open. So what you have to do is you have to put the string. You have to like put the string on the other side of the bow, and it was really hard. This bow was actually Lord Shiva's bow, and its name is Penak. So they had to string it, and it was really hard. Anybody who would be able to do it would be able to marry Sita Devi, Sita. And many people actually tried, but they failed miserably. So because it was
Let's see whether Ram can do or not.
hmm?
It was
Yeah, yeah.
so heavy.
Yeah, it was heavy. Yeah, many people. Why? It was so heavy. People could not even lift it. Forget about stringing it, right?
Yeah, and Ram could lift it up.
Yeah. Oh, oh. You
But
you
he
gave a
broke.
spoiler for the next class.
But he broke it.
You gave a spoiler for the next class.
But he
Oh, so you
actually,
know the Ramayana, right? You know the Ramayana then.
I don't know the whole one, but I just know he broke the Dhanush when he was
Oh, that's
shooting.
nice. You don't want to give spoilers for other people, or else other people will know, and there won't be any suspense, right? So we were going to discuss that next time, but it's fine. So now we're going to so many people the bowl was actually so heavy people couldn't even lift it up. It was so heavy. So forget about even stringing it. So next class we will see if Lord Ram can do it, and if he can, then what he actually does with it. We'll see that in the next class. Now we're going to. Does anybody have any questions from any parts of what we learned today?
Yes.
Yes.
So Vashishta did a yagya, and then in the yagya So there came a handsome man and he gave a kheer. He gave half to Sumitra, that other half to Kaikai, and 1/4 to Sumitra.
Yeah. No, it's actually he gave half to Kaushalya and half to KK, and then what they did is they took half of their part, so 1/4 of so half of Kaushalya's and half of KK's, right? Half of Kaushalya's and half of KK's, so that is 1/4 and 1/4, and then she gets half. So basically, Sumitra has half, and then KK and Kaushalya have 1/4 and 1/4, and that's why Sumitra has two sons, and Kaushalya and KK have one each. That's why there are four in total. That's what you were trying to say, right?
Yeah, because she has like more than 1/4, so she has more sons.
Yeah. That's why she had two sons. Yeah, that's a very nice point. You remember that. Thank you very much. Does anybody have any other questions? I can't. No, if anybody, has anybody seen the Epic Ramayana, the movie, Epic Ramayana, the cartoon version? Oh, Om has.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, Dikshita has too. How was it?
It was good. I
Yeah, it
loved
was
it.
good. You must have learned a lot of stuff from there also, right?
Again.
Huh?
I will see once again.
Yeah. Spiritual things, you want to see it again. You always have the desire to see it again, and it's very nice that you want to see it again. That means that you love Lord Ram, and it's very nice.
Yes.
So now we're going to, if nobody has any questions,
No, ma'am.
okay, so now we're going to move on to Bhagavad Gita. We are going to do, so yesterday you must have done, yesterday, right? Day before yesterday, you must have done the shloka, right? Remember the shloka?
Arjuna watch that one?
Shri Bhagavan Vacha.
Watch.
You remember this one? Okay, we'll do it today again. Let's get started. You guys can repeat after me. Should I do it word by word? Should I do it word by word?
Yes.
Yes? Okay, we'll do
Yeah.
it word by word. Shri
Three.
Bhagavan
Gayavan.
Vacha
Vacha.
Asosyan
Asya.
Anvasochas
Anvasoshan. Church.
Prajna
Agya.
Vada
Baba.
Ja Bhashase
Chase.
Gatasun
Gatasun.
Agatasun
Gatasun.
Ja
Yeah.
Anusochanti
Ayujan Shetty.
Pandita. Does everybody want to do it again, word by word? Or should we get started with the shloka?
Yes.
Yes.
Want to get started with the shloka? Yes, Om?
I wanted to start with the shloka.
Okay, I'll start it, and then everybody will repeat, and then you can say it. Okay? Shri Bhagavan Vacha
Jivana Vacha.
Asosyan Anvasochastvam
Anyasha.
Chuchian.
Chacha.
Anvasochas.
Chacha.
Tvam
No.
प्रज्ञावादांश्च भाषसे
Vada.
भाषसे गतासून् अगतासूंश्च नानुशोचन्ति पंडिताः
Nanu Yachanti Pandita.
Good job, Mathujan. Everybody can say. Everybody unmute.
Mataji, I have to go like to the bathroom.
Oh, okay, you can go. Sure. We'll do it again. Everybody, unmute. Shri Bhagavan Vacha Ashosyan Anashocastvam
Anvashvashastra. Twam.
Prajnavadam Shasase
Bhashashe.
Gatasun Agatasumscha
Gatasums. Cha.
Nanusochanti Pandita
Shoshanti Pandita.
Good job, everyone. Now we're going to do the translation. Okay. So the translation we have over here. The translation: the Supreme Personality of the Godhead said, while speaking learned words, you are mourning for what is not worthy of grief. Those who are wise lament neither for the living nor for the dead. So, what is this shloka about? In this shloka, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Who is the Supreme Personality of Godhead? Can anybody tell me?
Krishna.
Krishna. Yes, Krishna. Good job, Om. Krishna is saying to Arjun while speaking learned words, meaning when you're saying all these things, all these learned things, you are actually mourning for what is not worthy of grief. So you are actually crying and you are actually lamenting. You are actually focusing on something that is actually not supposed to be big of a deal. So you are actually, so say your pencil fell down. Okay, you're working on a table, you have a table, right? And then you sit on it and you do your homework or you do your work, right? And then your pencil fell down, right? So instead, and then you start crying that, oh, my pencil fell down. Now I can't do my homework and everything. You start doing. Does that make sense?
No.
You can just pick it up, right? So that's what Krishna is saying. You are actually mourning. So mourning meaning you are actually focusing on something. You are actually being sad about something which is actually not even worthy of grief, which is actually not worth of that, which you shouldn't be doing. So it's basically like, instead of just picking up your pencil from the floor and using it again, you're sitting there crying that, oh, my pencil fell down, I can't do anything. So so Krishna is saying basically you're doing that. Those who are wise lament neither for the living nor for the dead. So what is Arjun lamenting for? Arjun is lamenting that, oh, I'm going to kill my grandparents, or I'm going to kill Bhishma Dev, I'm going to kill my own cousins, I'm going to kill all my own relatives. He's saying for that. But then Krishna says, with one who is wise. Who is wise? One who is really intelligent. One who is really good. One who is wise. Lament meaning cries or lament sorrow, being sad for somebody or something like that. Neither for the living nor for the dead, meaning you aren't feeling sad for somebody who's living and you're not feeling very sad for somebody who's dead. Because because as we already know, when somebody dies, the soul goes to the next body. It's just like changing our dress. That will come on later on in the Bhagavad Gita. So one who is wise laments neither for the living nor for the dead. So in this sloka, Krishna is basically saying to Arjun that you are actually being sad for something that is not very saddy. That is not something so much sad to be about. Basically, the pencil example that I gave, you just sit there crying that, oh, my pencil fell down, when you can actually just pick it up and just start working. When somebody who's wise laments neither for the living nor for the dead. So you shouldn't be so sad. If you are an actual wise person, don't be so sad. That's what Krishna is trying to say in this. Any questions, anybody?
Mataji,
Yes,
I didn't get the turn to say the shloka.
yes. I want to make sure if anybody has any questions, I'll clear that and then we can move on to saying the shloka. Does anybody have any questions? Nobody? Oh,
Mataji.
I couldn't see. Nitra has question. You can unmute. Sorry if you're silly.
I didn't try.
You want to say the shloka? Yes, we'll get to that. Anybody else had a question? Somebody else had a question.
No.
Okay, nobody has questions? Now we'll move on to saying the shloka. Who wants to say the shloka? Netra wants to say the shloka?
Yeah.
Yes, you can say the shloka.
So I need some help.
Oh, you need some help. Do you want to repeat after me?
Yes.
Okay. Shri Bhagavana Vacha
Shri Bhagavan Vacha
Asosyan Anvasocastvam
Dosham Asocastvam
Prajnavadamscha Bhasase
Pregnavadam Sabhastashe
Gatasun Agatasuncha
Agadasumsta
Nanu Sochanti Pandita.
Anasuchintaha.
Hey, very good job. It was really nice. How old are you, Netra?
Okay, next one.
5. Good job. You're just 5 and you said the shloka. That's really nice. Anybody else? Om wants to say it.
Shri Bhagavanu Vacha Asojananvasocastvam Pragnavadam Sabhashase Gatasunagatasungscha Nanusochanti Panditaha.
Good job. Good job, Om. How old are you?
6.
6. Very nice. You're 6
First-
years old and you almost memorize it, right? You know it, right?
Yeah.
You can say it without seeing. That's very nice. You
I
can,
can
you
also
can, huh?
tell the meaning.
You can also tell the meaning. That's really nice. Do you want to say it?
Yes. Shri Bhagavan said, why are you speaking big, big words. There's no need to be sad about this. A wise person should not lamentate a dead or living.
Very nice. You said it in your own words. That's very nice. That means that you understood the actual meaning. That's very nice. Great job. And you can actually make a video of you yourself saying the shloka and saying the translation, and then send it in the group. Okay, tell your mom or any of your parents to send it in the group. It'll be actually very motivating for the other people. You don't want to do it? You said a thumbs down.
I didn't do a thumbs down. I was just like,
Is everybody in the group?
yes.
Yes. Okay. Then make a video. It was really nice. It was very nice. You can make a video and then send it in the group. Anybody else wants to say the shloka? Dikshita?
I need some help.
Need some help. Okay. Shri Bhagavana Vacha
Navacha
Asosyan Anvasocastvam
Asosha Swastra
Prajna Vadamscha Bhasase
Pragyam Rashe
Gatasun Agatasumscha
Gatalumsa Gatansu
Nanusochanti Pandita.
Nano Shoshita Pandita
Good job. It was really nice. You can also send a video. You can take help from your mom or anybody else, and you can send a video. Okay?
Okay,
Yes, it was really nice. Good job to everybody who recited. So now we will move on to a drawing activity, and it is actually drawing, just like we did last week. We did this, right? Mrityunjan was actually showing it to me. And today we are going to draw this bow and arrow. This is actually what Lord Ram and his siblings, his brothers, were learning. They were learning archery.
That is simple, right?
If you want to see a sample, I actually drew a sample.
How did you draw that, Mataji?
How did I draw it?
Did
So
you take
basically what you do is just first you want to just get the basic shape of the bow. Get the basic shape of the bow, and then big C. Yeah, you draw big C.
Opposite C.
Yeah, opposite C. Opposite C. You draw kind of not like a curvy C, like a little open C, like a opposite curvy C. Open C, and then on that you just design in the middle, like over there, and then here, and then there. 1 minute.
and then you put the thing, the
And then
string.
you put this arrow, which is very very simple. You just take a ruler and then just make your arrow using a ruler, and then put a small triangle over there, and then you can make like those end feather things. It's very easy, and then you can make the string just by putting one line.
Did I really get a ruler?
Huh?
Did I really get a ruler?
You can just draw it freehand too. You don't need to have a ruler.
Well, I'm pretty sure to get the ruler. Mataji? Mataji?
Yes.
Can I go get a ruler?
Yeah, sure.
Kanchan, our next class going to start, beta.
Yes, Mataji, that is what my mom was also saying. I'll try to get this. Actually, maybe I'll send this picture in the group, and then kids can keep working on it. As soon as they're done, they can send the picture.
Or you can do it by next week also, because kids are very small. They can't understand. Might be
Yes, Mataji.
everything
Yes,
for
Mataji.
the
Yeah,
picture.
we can do it next week also.
Yeah.
So, same one. You can send the picture in the group, right? Okay. We'll do it next week. Okay. We will. If, no problem if anybody has not finished this drawing. It was very less time, and we will do the same activity, same bow and arrow drawing next week also. If you're not done, it's fine. You're not going to be left behind or anything. You don't have to finish it. It's not homework. Next week on Wednesday, we will do the same activity. Actually, continue the same activity, and maybe we'll color it with some color pencils, and we will kind of finish this activity next week.
Okay, Mataji. But actually,
Does anybody like cooking in here? Anybody like to do cooking?
this is Nikita, I know.
Wow. Om knows.
I don't know. I like it.
You like to, yeah. Dikshita likes to. Nityunjan likes to. That's nice. So maybe we can try some cooking someday. Flameless. It's going to be flameless. So you're going to be safe, and you're going to make nice, good dishes to enjoy. Offer it to Krishna and then enjoy. But we will do this drawing, bow and arrow drawing, next week. Until then, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.